There's a theory of international relations called conservation of enemies. Very simply stated, it maintains, very wisely I think, that no state should have any more enemies at any one time than it can handle. Donald Trump, and I swear to God, H.R. McMaster, Jim Mattis, and John Kelly haven't heard of this maxim. We are now looking at, someone said it already, at the bottom of the list, Venezuela, if you will. I mean, if I want to prioritize by power. But at the top of the list, we've got Russia, China, Iran, the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. My God, we couldn't handle two of those at the same time, let alone all of them. And this president seems to think he's going to take them all on. Now, here's the Washington wisdom. Now, you know what he's doing? He's doing just what he did with Steve Wynn when he was trying to keep Steve Wynn out of Atlantic City and the casino world there. And what he's done in every deal he's ever conducted in his life, he's trying to use bluster and bravado to achieve a higher position so when he goes into negotiations, he's got a lot of leverage. Do you know what that sounds like to somebody like me who's experienced in presidential decision making? It sounds like a recipe for hell. It sounds like a recipe for maybe 2 or 3 of those enemies simultaneously. It sounds like a recipe for some of those enemies like Xi Jinping in Beijing and Putin in Moscow saying, oh, bring it on, because while you're doing all this crap, we're going to gain so much ground on you, you will be sick at what we've achieved when you're finished with your chaos. I would love to be Xi Jinping in Beijing watching the empire implode. What is China doing right now in Southwest Asia, for example? Do you know they just ran a diesel train from Shanghai to Iran? Took about 29 hours. They're going to reduce that by 2/3 because they're going to build high-speed rail into Iran. They're also refurbishing Chabahar and Bandar Abbas, 2 of the prominent ports on the Iranian southern coast. They don't give a good God dang about Donald Trump finding Iran in noncompliance. In fact, they probably would like for that to happen because then that does not isolate Iran, it isolates the United States vis-a-vis its principal allies in Europe and certainly vis-a-vis its 2 potential enemies in China and Russia. They will be laughing all the way to the vodka and the sake. It's incredible what we're doing. Incredible. China has built a corridor across Pakistan. That corridor starts in Kashmir. Guess what Kashmir is? A nuclear exchange potential between Pakistan and India, Pakistan being one of the most dangerously destabilized nuclear states in the world today. In 2002, Colin Powell and George W. Bush, to his credit, had to get General Musharraf, then President Musharraf in Islamabad, on the telephone, and his counterpart, foreign minister and president in Delhi, and say, we're coming over, you guys sit down and take it easy for a minute. Because they were getting ready to have a nuclear exchange. When we got there, and we talked to Musharraf, who was a smart man, a general, president of Pakistan at the time, by a coup, of course, but that's a Pakistani predilection. We said, what are you going to do as your initial move? Well, we'll shoot 20 weapons. What do you think they're going to do? Well, they'll shoot 20 back. These are nuclear weapons, mind you. Well, what do you think is going to happen then? Well, we haven't thought about it. Let us share with you some 4 decades of real deep academic and political thought about nuclear weapons. And we did. And we calmed them down.